Hello everyone. Hi, how are you? This is Kei. Welcome back to my another live stream today. So today is the 27th of May on Saturday. So I hope you're having a great weekend. Okay, so let's start the live stream. Today, I haven't thought about any topics to discuss, so I guess I will just say hi to everyone and share my impression for about the recent markets, and probably talk about some psychology or money management topics. And after this, there will be an Ichimoku membership live stream, so I will see you there too. So just hold on, let me get everything ready here. Okay, alright. I think this is now good. Alright, thank you very much for joining today, everyone. Augustine, Rajesh, and Ashish, good to see you. And Anne, Kenley, Gabby, and Stefan, and Win, and Rain, and everyone. Great to see you. Okay, so today let me first start from this question. What is your biggest challenge in terms of psychology in trading? Let me ask this question. What is your biggest challenge in terms of trade psychology? You can look back your trades in the month of May. We still have 1 week to go in the month of May, but you can look back your trades this month in May or this year since January. And what do you think is your struggle? So, you know, I run some communities, Ichimoku community and KTS Academy and GTS, and I have actually discussed about the trade psychology with some of the members. And some said that the market has been very choppy recently, so you know, they have more losses than wins. So that may be one of the challenges you may be facing right now. Or whenever you're not away, you're not in the market, you're not seeing the market, there are some trends, but when you're away from the market, there are trends. So you may feel FOMO on that in that sense too. Because recently the trend doesn't really last long as much as last year. So whenever you are at the chart, then the trends may be over already. You may face that situation too recently. But yeah, what do you think is a challenge in terms of trade psychology recently? Okay, I start to see some comments. Okay, Anne says, let losses run and cut profits short. Okay, okay. So you are actually taking more losses than the profits. You cut the profits too short and losses run, you know, bigger. Yeah, so that's I think that's about the risk management, and maybe you exit too early because you don't want to end up with losing. So you just cut the losses very quickly, and you can't extend the profits as much as possible. I used to have that habit too. I used to have that challenge that I couldn't run the profits. Whenever I run 10 pips or 20 pips, I used to just cut the position and take profit there. And then on other trades, I had like 10 pips of loss, 20 pips, 30 pips of loss, and eventually the the overall performance became break-even or small losses. So I thought I was simply wasting time because no matter how many times I take trades, it doesn't really make any profits overall. So yeah, I used to have that habit too. So for that, my advice is that don't cut the profits too soon. So you set the break-even line. So you move the stop losses above the positions so that even if the market goes back, you don't lose anymore. So that's my part of my risk management. I move the stop losses to break even. I used to call it zero line, but now I call it break even line. But so that your losses or profit become zero and you don't lose. And the most important is not to lose in the markets than making profits. So that's actually part of my strategies. And once you set break even, you don't lose. It's either break even or win game. So remember that, and next time I hope you can continue to run profits. And also maybe the challenge is you may check the charts or positions too often. Maybe you cut profits too short, maybe because you check charts every 10 minutes or 30 minutes. So next time when you are in the positions, just in set break even, you don't lose anymore. So just leave the chart for the next couple of hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and see how it goes. Yeah, because most of the time when I run the big profits, that's when I'm away from the charts. I forget about the positions because I don't lose after I set the break even. And then when I came back a few hours later, I happen to find that I'm running 60, 50 pips of profit. And then I simply trail the profits and leave again. So that's basically what I do when I'm on that position and making profits. So maybe you check charts too often and you may exit too early. That may be also the case. So yeah, but I really think that I think that's also the fear of losing potential profits too. So that's definitely about psychology. Yeah, but like that, I think to master trading, it takes a while for sure. So just take time and continue to practice. Okay, let's see. Stefan says, I don't rely on my psychology, just my trading plan. Okay, that's good. So you create your trading plan with some strategy and follow it. Yes, then that's reason why we have to have a strategy so that we can possibly eliminate the psychology or emotion. But even so, if you have 3 losses consecutive, 5 losses consecutive, then you may feel the emotion. So yeah, that's I think that's a part of the human nature, I think. Yeah. Hello Tony Gold, thank you for joining. Okay, Augustine says problems with entry and also cutting short when the pattern goes the other way. Okay. So entry and also cutting short when the pattern goes the other way. So basically that's when you exit very quickly too, when the market reverses. So yeah. So basically the market goes either direction. No matter how many confirmations, how many like entry edges you find, for any reasons the market can go against you. That's for sure. with my strategy also, I look for the trending market based on Ichimoku in higher time frames. And then I look for an entry timing with the lower time frames with multiple confirmations. But even so, the market can reverse. So this is my mindset, is that the reason I'm looking for an entry edge, entry confirmations, is not to raise the win rate. So I do look for an entry edges so that I know when to exit correctly, is my mindset. And that's why I built my entry strategy, so that I know when to exit my trade if the market goes against me. Before, I was creating the entry edge, entry strategy to raise the win rate so that possibly after enter trade, the market just goes my direction. And it still does, because the chances are 50-50 anyways. So no matter how many confirmations you can find, sometimes the market just goes back. It happens. So when I had that experience many times, when I was buying some new strategies, new indicators, and looking for holy grail for my perfect, what I thought perfect entry timings, that was my main focus. But I kept failing and failing, and I thought entry strategy should not be looking for the timing when the market goes your direction. So this is, I think, a bit difficult. It may be difficult to understand, because usually entry strategies should give you the to make profits usually. But for me, it's different. Yeah, I look for an entry timings, entry edge, so that I know when to exit is the main reason. So let's say no matter how perfect the setup looks to be, I see the, let's say, daily chart is bullish, even weekly is bullish, and Kumo is not too thin, Chikou span above candles, and everything's bullish on the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 30 minute also, all the time frames. And then I find, let's say, 7 or 8 reasons, confirmations on the lower time frames for the entry. So I take the trade, but sometimes the market goes back. So I know when to exit my trade. Or whenever I see, even if I see the Kumo or the market may be close to the resistance, and I only find 3 confirmations on the lower time frames, I enter trade, and the market sometimes goes towards my direction and breaks the resistance and continues to go up. It happens too. So that means it doesn't really matter how many confirmations you have for the entries. And my focus became when to exit my trade. So yeah, so coming back to that topic about the entry, problem with the entry, you can start to look for an entry timing so that you know when to exit your trade properly with the small losses. Yeah, this is something also that the original creator of Ichimoku said, that the market is really simple. It's whether up or down, and that's it. So, but it's actually us that makes it difficult to understand the markets. But the chance basically is 50-50, whether it's up or down, that's it. And you look for the reasons to enter trade. But these reasons should not be to raise the win rate. So this is, I think, very important mindset for the risk management and also the psychology management too. Yeah, when I was looking for the perfect entry strategy that makes me profit, I was always wondering why this strategy works sometimes, but it doesn't work. And all the strategies like that. So there's no holy grail. So yeah, that was a big mindset shift. And that's when I actually became a break-even to win trades. When I was looking for the strategy that makes me the strategy for the market to go towards my direction, I kept losing and losing because my expectation I think was too big for the market to go towards my direction, but if it doesn't happen, psychologically it was painful. But if I'm just relaxed and I look for an entry chance, but if the market goes back, if I can accept that, then psychologically it becomes much easier and I know what to do. I know when to exit my trade with a small loss and just keep going. So yeah, this may be a bit too complex, too complicated when you hear this story, but yeah, that's how I feel. So yeah, so it's okay for the market to go against you after your entry, but you have to know what to do if the market goes wrong direction. And that should be included in your entry strategy for sure. Okay, so let me check some other comments. Again, thank you very much for joining everyone. Today, good to see you. It's the 27th of May on Saturday. So today is about the trade psychology discussion. I just share how I feel and what I do by reading these comments today. Being a full-time trader is not easy. If you are already a full-time, then maybe you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't become a full-time trader yet, then you will know how hard it is psychologically to continue to do this. This year is my 10th year, anniversary year. So I have been trading for the last 10 years full-time. But for the first 2 years or 3 years are losses in the break-even. For the first 2 years were for the losses, and the third year became almost break-even. And since the fourth year onwards, I start to make profits in yearly basis, but still in monthly basis it was unstable. But on yearly basis, I start to make profits. So, but there's a big shift on that transit. From the biggest transit was not from being break-even to profitable. The biggest shift was from when I was losing to break-even trade. And I think that's something that everybody has to go through. You keep trading, and you keep losing and losing. And once you start to realize the importance of the risk management and start to apply that, then you keep trading, but you don't lose. You don't make profits, but you don't lose also. And when you feel that, when you are at that stage, then the success, the profits every year will be very close. Yeah, at least based on my experience, those were the steps. Okay, let me see. Jonathan says, I exit too fast of my trades instead to follow my plans. Okay, so you have to follow your plans. That's the main thing you have to do. Yeah, otherwise, you don't create plans to do. Maybe you can't follow the plans because, oh, and Stefan also says, my most challenge is not following the plan, right? So you're not following the plan, and what's the reason behind? What do you think? Why do you think you can't follow the plan? You have the plan, you have the strategy, you know what to do logically in your brain, but your gut feeling or your heart says something different maybe. Just exit right now, just take 10 pips of profit, or just go for it, just enter trade because it's trending up right now, so just jump in. Maybe you hear these voices. Yeah. Based on my experience in teaching trading at the classes, when I hear that comments, I think you rush. One of the reasons maybe you rush too much to make profits, and that motivation sometimes drags you from success. Like let's say you are you're working full-time, for example, and you want to make profits, you want to change life, you want to quit your job, you want to support your family, you want to achieve your dream, you want to live some other countries, like myself, and so on. You have some dreams, and you have the pressure to achieve that goal, which is good. But if you bring that pressure to trading, then you may start not following the plans because you rush too much to success trading. So you may hop around some different strategies, and you may look for Holy Grail in that way. But my advice is to stay on one strategy and also backtest and make sure you prove yourself that it works for you, and then keep going on the live trade. Then you should be fine. So I said this a couple of times before, and also the video is that you have to have two wallets. One wallet to live, and the second wallet to trade. And these wallets should be separated for sure. Never touch the wallet to live, to trade. Never do that. You have to separate. So if you have 1000 USD, then take trades without 1000. If you have 10,000 USD, that is okay to trade, and if it doesn't affect your living expenses, then that's the amount you can trade. But never mix together. If you mix together, then you have emotion, and your psychology may affect very big in your live trades. Okay. Alright, so let me check some other comments. Okay, John says, hi Kay, biggest challenge right now is finding more entry confirmations and having the ideal time to observe charts due to work. Okay, yeah, so finding more entry confirmations. So that means due to work, you can't find as many confirmations, as many entry chances as possible. Maybe that's the challenge. And I used to have that challenge too. When I was working full-time in a company, when I was in Japan, I was working full-time. You know how Japan, how hard we work. We go to the company, we go to office at 9 a.m. and usually working hours 9 to 5, but usually I used to work until 6 or 7 p.m. and then I bring my laptop to home and continue to work until like 9 p.m. 10 p.m. or so every day. So I was having a challenge to look for an opportunities in trading, and that's why initially I was a scalper before. I was only having very limited time to trade, to monitor screen charts and trade. I was doing scalping. And then I realized that the scalping was a bit too stressful for me. And I'm a type of person who wants to take time for analysis and take time to discuss which one to trade and take time on my decisions. I don't want to rush too much in my nature. So I gave up on scalping, and I was basically looking for entry chances. But sometimes, or more oftentimes, I couldn't find any entries after work. So what I did was I actually look at the even lower time frames. I used to check the daily time frame for my entries, but daily goes really slow every day in the candles. So I used to check 1 hour or even 30 minutes for my entries to look for a setup. And for my entries, I used to take 5 minutes. And I was doing the, not like a scalping, but I was doing more intraday style. So if you follow me, if you follow my strategy KTS, then you can take 1 hour or even M30, 30-minute time frame, and look for the trending market and look for an entry opportunities. Because if you look for 1 hour trends, it happens more often, much more often than 4 hour time frame or the daily time frame. So you can actually find more confirmations, more opportunities. And also, but even so, even if you check 1 hour time frame, you may not be able to find opportunities every day. In that case, what I used to do is I used to run the Forex Tester and practice myself. Forex Tester is basically to run EA and to create the robot or EA, because it just runs automatically with your system, entry and exit strategies. But what I did was I opened the Forex Tester and I can actually execute trades manually, entry and exit. So when I can't find any entry chances within the day after work, I used to launch the Forex Tester and practice my entries and exits in the past market. It's a past market, but you can't see the future candles. So you can trade as if you're watching the live market. And you get the stats too. You get the win rate, you get the PF, profit factor, you have the number of trades and drawdowns, percentage, and all these numbers. So I used to do that a lot. Even on the weekends, even still nowadays, I run the Forex Tester just to train myself, to just so that I don't lose a sense of entries and exits. If I don't enter trades live for 1 week, for example myself, even I have been trading for 10 years, if I don't execute my entries and exits for 1 week, then I feel I'm losing the sense of it. So to catch up my sense, I open the Forex Tester and just choose a random chart, random time, random date, random year, and just practice entry and exit. It's like, any sports, you do the training, you do the pitching in the baseball, you hit the ball, or you kick the ball on the football. You do this in sports, and it's like that in trading too, so that I don't lose a sense of it, so that when the actual opportunity comes in front of me on the live market, I know what to do. So that's something you can do also when you are having difficulty in trading due to work. Yeah. Fortunately, we have so many tools nowadays to practice and to trade. So I think you can take advantage of these tools. Okay, hello Gacy, James, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, I see lots of comments. Hold on, let me quickly check one by one. Sorry, my throat is almost above Kumo. My throat condition is almost above Kumo, so yeah, just a little bit more time. Okay, Stefan says, I estimate the time to resolve before I enter the trade. If it doesn't resolve within the time window, it's not the trade I'm looking for. I exit if possible. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Trading is really like looking for a taxi on the street. You go out on the street. If there's a taxi, you catch it. But if there's no taxi, don't wait until taxi comes. You just come back home and spend a couple of minutes, hours, and then go on the street again and see if there's a taxi or so. If not, then you give up and come back again. That's like looking for the opportunity in trading, in my style. Okay, AP says, next time can you add subtitle? Yes, subtitles will be available after a few hours after this live ends. It should be available automatically, so you can come back and check the archive for subtitles. Okay, Kohi says, konbanwa. Okay, thanks for joining. I hope you're good. Now, good to see you again. My question, how do you mark your stop loss using Ichimoku? So, if you're using Ichimoku only to take trade, this is something I say that in Ichimoku membership, is that if you only use Ichimoku to take trade and not in multiple time frames, then the question is, which term are you following a trend with? So if you're following the short term, then your stop loss should be below the Tenkan-sen. If you're following the mid term, then your stop loss should be below the Kijun-sen. If you're the long-term trader, you follow the Kumo trend. So it's up to which term you're following in that market. Okay. Okay, let me see. James says all is about break-even losses this month. Overall, I'm at a loss this month so far. Okay. All right. Break-even and losses. Okay, so you weren't able to capture some nice pips. But don't give up, right? Never give up. Just keep going, because that's what we can do only. If you don't give up, then you get success for sure. Okay, Reza says, Hi Kei, in Sanyaku Gyakuten and Sanyaku Koten, the order in which the lines meet each other is important. Yes, it's important. The order is really important. Right, right. Okay, hello Won, thanks for joining. And Harun, thank you very much for rejoining my Ichimoku community. Thank you very much and stay gold. Okay. Yeah, recently Ichimoku members are coming back. Maybe after COVID, the people get busy in work, busy travel, so some members absence. But looks like now it's coming back. So yeah, let's continue to learn. Hello Matt, thanks for joining. Good to see you. MH, thanks for joining too. Good to see you. All right. Gabby, good to see you too. Yeah, please continue to do your best, because that's what we can do only. Yeah, so this is a bit difficult difficult feeling myself to explain in terms of trading, is that whenever I trade, whenever I execute my trade, whether it's a buy or sell, in a sense I don't expect the profits every time. But I'm not giving up. It doesn't mean that I'm giving up, but I don't expect this trade is going to be a profit. Or this trade I will make 100 pips. I never expect that. I simply follow my strategy, and if I'm at the right timing, I simply do it and see what the market brings me. So I'm more like a neutral type, and I don't expect the losses either. Even if I lose 3 times, 4 times consecutive or break even, I don't expect next trade is going to be a loss. I never do that. But at the same time, I never expect the next trade is going to be the win, or next trade I want to cover the losses. I never think that. I never expect that. So, Goichi Hosoda, the original creator of Ichimoku, says surrender to the market, because that's all we can do. So we just create the strategy based on the back testing and prove that the system works. And after we prove that the system works, you simply follow it. Along the way, you follow it. There are losses along the way. And there are wins, there are break-evens. So simply take these and just keep going. So that's all we can do. So when I first started my trading career, when I was working full-time, my goal was to make profits big. I was aiming to become a millionaire, and my goal was to quit the job and be free from anything in life. And then after some losing years, I faced a reality, is that the trading is not to give me the freedom. I mean, I can quit the job, but at the same time, I lose expectation that I make profits in trading. But instead, my focus became just to follow my strategy, and that's it. Then every month, every year, I happen to make profits. So even still nowadays, I have been trading for the last 10 years and making profits every year. Even still now, I don't feel that I'm not confident. I'm not confident that I will be making profits this year. I'm not sure. But based on my stats, based on what I have been doing so far, I know the stat says I make profits every year, so this year I should be making profits. If not, then I look back my trades and fine-tune my strategy so that it works better on the next year or next month and so on. And the journey just goes on like that. So trading is not really, for me at least, trading is not the fancy job, or trading is not like to capture the dream, but it's more for like internal communication and internal challenges, more likely like that. But again, if you don't give up, if you continue to practice, and if you continue to improve your trades, then they should be achieved. That's for sure too. Yeah, for me also, I never remember how many times I thought I will quit trading. Yeah. Hello Sean, thanks for joining from Chicago, good to see you. Okay. Reza says, I think that in order for you to be successful in trading, you should always be learning and analyzing the market with your knowledge. That's true. Yeah, never stop. Never stop your analysis. So I say at least once per day, you check charts. You don't have to take trades, but just take a glance once per day. Only take 1 minute or so of your time, and just take a look at the market and just leave. But if you stop watching the market 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, And then if becomes easier to stay away from the charts for 1 week or 2 weeks. If you're away from the charts for 1 week, then you may be away for 2 weeks. If you're away from 2 weeks, then you may be away for 1 month, and then eventually you may quit trading. So everything starts from the small things, but it piles up and becomes big. So I say, yeah, please check charts at least once per day, every day. Okay, Sai says, can you explain a little bit about the prop firm funding? It may help people who do not have enough capital to invest. Yeah, I think that's a good way to fund yourself. I have some students who passed the challenge, so I think it's a good way. Personally, I never tried before because I have been trading on my own money and I never managed someone else's money, so I have no experience. But I think that's good. But I think the problem is that usually the challenge only has 30 days. And 30 days may be too short when the market's not trending bigger. So you might want to look for the challenge that has more time to pass. Okay, KS says, did journaling help you become profitable? Yes, for sure. Yes, so take screenshot of your entry and exit and type the reasons why you picked that pair and why you picked that timing and the reasons you enter the trade and the reasons you exit the trade. You take screenshot with the comments and journal your trades. By doing that, not only that you remember what you did on your trades, and also let's say like 6 months later, you can look back your own trades and learn from it too. So because these trades that you journal never lies to you. Even if I share my trades with you, you didn't take these trades. These trades are done myself. So the learning might be less. But if you look back your own work, your own trades, then that's where the wisdom comes really. So yeah, it does help a lot to improve yourself. Okay, hello Camillus, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, it's getting dark now. Okay, Augustine says, noted with thanks. It's just like you said, with all the indication shows good and at the higher time frame and lower eventually after I enter, it just reverses against me. Yep, it happens. So I take your advice to keep losses minimum, but what happens when I exit, I find momentum start go my way. That becomes very frustrating as most of my decisions on entry was good except that it reversed after I enter trade. I realized that maybe I was scared of losing, so I exit. Psychology is so important here, I realize. Yeah, that's true. So again, never expect anything. I think that's my best advice to do. So I think one of the biggest challenge or what makes it the most difficult in trading is that you can actually see the past candlesticks. How do you say? I'm thinking about a good example to explain this in terms of the opportunities and the challenges and occasions. Oh yeah, so how about let's see, you are at the food court and you find the vacant seat available, and then you go to the shop, order food, wait for 10 minutes, you get the food, and you go to the table again, then you find no seats anymore. I think the psychology is like that. And then it's okay, so you find no seats. You wait and wait 5 minutes, but no seats available. So you go out. You look for some other tables somewhere else. And then you eat, and then come back to the same food court tables, and then you see vacant seats again. Maybe that's the similar type of psychology you may face in trading too. But the thing is that you can't control people. You can't control that situation. So the only thing you can do is just accept the fact, and then do second option. And when you come back to the original place, and if you see some vacant seats available, then you can just think that maybe the timing was not for you. But next time, maybe timing might be right. Same applies, I think. I was actually on the highway yesterday, and in Friday night, highway gets very crowded, So I was on one of the lanes. There are 5 lanes on the highway, and there is one lane I was on. And this one lane seems to be very slow. When I look around, the other lanes seems to be very fast. You may feel that too. But this lane is really slow, I found. So I was thinking to change lane so that it goes fast. But then I stopped myself. If I change the lane, and if this one goes slow, and if the lane I'm in right now goes fast after that, then I may feel psychology, right? So I stayed on the same lane, and then this lane actually became faster than other lanes. So it happens too in driving too, I think. So, but the psychology is that I wasn't rushing too much, so it was okay for me. I was kind of experimenting that psychology yesterday. But let's say I have an appointment in 10 minutes and I have to go fast. Then I may change the lane, and then the lane change may be very slow, and then I get frustrated. So I think it's also about your psychology state or mental state. But I think the bottom line is to just accept the fact and just keep going. Yeah. I think all because I think we are eager to make profits. That's why. We're here to make profits, otherwise you won't be trading, right? We're here to make profits, that's the main reason. You study trading, you study Ichimoku through my channel, but you lose. That's where the pain comes from. If you don't care about losses and wins, then you may not feel emotion. But eventually, you have to have that state of mind. Whatever comes, you take. Then you make profits is actually true. Because you have less emotion, less psychology by doing that. Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered these questions, but I'm just giving you some examples based on my own experience in life so that it can relate to trading. Okay, I see lots of comments, but I will be ending live in about 5 minutes, so let me check some of the recent ones also. Doe says, trading has been going well thanks to you. The only problem is that often I get the direction good, but my entries are usually a bit early. That's why I go through big drawdowns before going well. Okay, so maybe the timings maybe you have to improve your timings. Yeah. You may want to look at the candlesticks or the lines. Okay. Let's see. What time forms are the best to check the market? I would say UK session. UK session becomes the very active usually. Okay. Yeah, 5%ers is, I think it's good. 5%ers offers you to challenge for 1 year, I think. So that's good, and it's a bit cheaper, but you have 3 phases to pass. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Jonathan, you're welcome. Okay, thank you for the comments, everyone. Sigma says, would you advise when you enter the trade and it pushes right away against you to exit? I find it harder to exit when it pushes more. Yeah, so I have to exit at some point. If it goes against me after my entry, then I exit before the price hit the stop loss. So that is my strategy, so that I keep the losses small. You know, there are 2 ways to make more profits. And you can think which one will be easier. 2 ways to make more profits. One is to simply gain more pips. You may used to take 20 pips of profit, but if you take 100 pips every time, then you make more profits. That's one way. And the other way is to cut the losses smaller. If you have been taking, let's say, 30 pips of losses, if you cut down half to 15 pips of losses in average, then you make more profits. And which one is easier is the latter. You exit earlier timings so that once the market goes your direction, you cover the small losses. I found that's more easier to manage, because the timing to exit, you can actually do it on your own, you can control. But the pips you gain, you can't control. You can't control the market, so you can't control how much pips you make on the next trade. So, because it's random. But the risk side, you can control. So focus on what you can control and give up on what you cannot control in the markets. Okay, I see lots of more comments, but unfortunately I have to end the live. So after I finish this live stream, I will check this live again and enjoy your comments. So thank you very much everyone for joining today's live stream. It was about small talk about trade psychology discussion, but I hope you enjoyed it. So tomorrow at the same time at 2 p.m. UTC, I will be doing the weekly forecast. I cover the Forex pairs on my watch list, 21 pairs on my watch list, and then gold, WTI, indices, and Bitcoin and the news. I will cover that tomorrow. So hopefully I will see you there. And to those who are Ichimoku members, the live will be happening in about 5 minutes. So I will see you all there soon. So again, thank you very much. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and see you soon again. Until then, please stay healthy, stay safe, stay gold. Bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you very much.